So what is thermodynamics? Therm means heat, dynamic means change. So in this chapter we learn about that how state of matter means exist, or how the state of matter change when therm is there, when heat change is there, therm dynamic is there. Okay. So, thermodynamics is the study of change in temperature and its relation with the state of matter. Okay. So there we just learn two three things in this chapter. First, we'll just I want to familiar with the basic term system and surrounding. This will be frequently used in this chapter. Okay. So a system in thermodynamics refers to the part of universe in which observations are made and remaining universe constitutes the surrounding. So the surrounding includes everything other than the system. System and the surrounding together constitute the universe. So if we just consider the system, so system is that specific apparatus or specific equipment in which we are performing any reaction. So that is system, and the surroundings, a part of that system is known as surroundings. Okay, means the environment, all the things except that system is called surrounding, and together they just form a universe. So if we talk about a system, so we talk about means that means digestion is going on in my body. If I'm talking about my body, circulatory system is there, and I am breathing means respiration is going in good way. So now I am talking about my system. So a part of my body, everything that surrounds me is surrounding. So together me and surrounding is known as the universe, right? So let me just give you some other examples. That if we are studying the reaction between two substances A and B kept in a beaker, so the beaker containing the reaction mixture in the system and the room uh, where the beaker is kept is the surrounding. Means the beaker in which the substance is there, in which we are mixing both substances A and B, so that system, that beaker is known as system, and the room where we are keeping that beaker or performing the experiment, that is known as surroundings. Okay. So note that the system may be defined as the physical boundaries like beaker or test tube, or the system may simply be defined as the set of Cartesian coordinates specifying a particular volume in space. So it is necessary to think the system as separate from the surrounding by some sort of walls, which may be real or imaginary. So if we talk about the real walls, it means if I'm having a beaker or bowl, so the boundary, okay, so the material which it is made up of is considered to be as the physical boundary, because it separates the system from surrounding. Okay. Or and there can be some imaginary walls that separate system and surrounding. So for example, if I am having a bowl with water, colored water, and if I put it into a normal water, so what happened, it will just it will not sink, because the volume is like equal to that volume, because of Archimedes principle. This thing we have learned in physics in ninth class. So what happens, so it's just like it will not sink, it will like float on over the water, but the colored water and the water outside that system will not mix. Why? Because of that boundary of that bowl. This will not allow the colored part to enter into the whole water. So that color ball with that color part is known as system, and that water that surrounds that ball is known as the surrounding, and together that is a universe, right? So the walls that separates the system from the surrounding is known as boundary. So anything, we'll not talk about a ball and a beaker, anything that separates one thing from the surrounding, that is known as boundary. We'll talk about the skin of ours. So our skin just make a separation between our internal parts and the surrounding. It's just protect, it's cover, it is the covering of our body which protects internal organs or internal things inside our body. So this is also considered to be as boundary. Okay, so this is designed to allow us to control and keep track on all movement of matter and energy in and out of the system. the main function of this boundary is what? Is to control and keep the movement of the matter in and out of the system. Okay, me for example, through our skin only water and NaCl can come out because because this is semi-permeable. It allow the selective substances to pass through it. Right. So if we talk about a glass, if we talk about a steel glass, what happens? If you put something hot in a steel glass, so that steel glass will allow only heat to pass through it, not the matter. So it depends on the property of that wall, how it is designed and why it is designed, the purpose of that wall. So basically, we just can define it as whole, that it's just control and keep a track of all moments of matter and energy in and out of the system. For example, this is the system, this is the surrounding, and the dotted portion is known as boundary because it does not allow the system to get out and mix with the surrounding. Okay, this just separate the system from surrounding. Okay, so main function of this boundary is to control exchange of matter and heat, and it just make a separation between the surrounding and the system. So if we talk about the class system, so classification of system is open system. In open system, there is an exchange of energy, matter between the system and the surrounding. The presence of reactant in an open beaker is an example of open system. Hence, the boundary is an imaginary surface encloses the beaker and reactant. So what happened? At that time, we are not putting any lid over that beaker to cover it. So this will be a, like a imaginary boundary that just separate atmosphere from that weaker component. Okay. So in open system, there is a exchange of matter and as well as heat is there. Okay, it will exchange matter and heat both with the surrounding. For example, if we just boil water in an open system, in an open tumbler, and will not cover it with a lid, what happens when we just put temperature after 0 degrees Celsius? It's just move out of that system in the form of vapor. So there is an exchange of heat as well as matter. But in closed system, what happens? There is no exchange of matter, but exchange of energy is possible between the system and the surrounding, because that that wall is thermal conducting. The wall of that container is conducting, means metals are good conductor of heat. So that is thermal conducting, and it will conduct the heat to the surrounding. Okay, so the presence of reactant in a closed vessel made of conducting material, example copper, steel, is an example of closed system. So if you just cover that tumbler in which we are heating water with the lid, even then exchange of heat will be there because they are made up of metals, and metals are good conductor of heat. But there is no exchange of matter is there. The water which convert into the vapor form, it get back to the liquid state because of the that pressure of that lid, because that lid will not come, will not allow the water vapors to come out of that system. Okay, and if we talk about the isolated system, so in an isolated system there is no exchange of energy as well as the matter between the system and the surrounding. So the presence of reactants in thermoplast or any other closed isolated vessel is an example of isolated system. So if we talk about the like if we just want to difference between this open, closed and isolated, so you can see in this image what in the open system energy and both matter, energy and matter are exchanging, but in closed, energy is exchanging, matter is not exchanging with the surrounding. But in isolated system there is no exchange of matter as well as energy is there. So let's just talk about the state of the system. The system must be described in order to make any useful calculation by specific quantitatively each of all the properties such as pressure P, volume V, and temperature T, as well as the composition of the system. So we need to describe the system by specifying it before and after. If you want to specify something before and after, so at that time we have to specify three things: initial pressure, initial volume, and initial temperature. And when we just complete our reaction, so what we have to measure? Final pressure, final volume, and final temperature. So these are the specific like quantitative entities the, which is to be calculated when we are performing any experiment. So the state of thermodynamic system is described by its measurable macroscopic or bulk properties. So we can describe the state of gas by quoting its pressure, volume, temperature, and the amount of substance. N is the number of moles, as we have learned from our previous chapter. So these are the special variables that we have to calculate to find out the change in state. Okay, and that is PVT, and these are known as the state variables or state functions. Why? Because the values depend only on the state of the system, not how it reaches. What we have to just concern, we have to concern that how we boil the liquid. Why? By if we are giving 100 degrees Celsius, we put it on stove. If we just put it on the exposure of sunlight, or if we just immerse it, if we just heat it by with the help of immersing rod, we don't have to follow the path. What matters is the initial result and final result. How means that we do not just follow that path how it reaches. We just have to concern about what is there, initial and final. So in order to completely define the state of matter, it is necessary to define all the properties of the system, as only a certain number of property can be varied independently. Okay, so let's just talk about the internal energy as a state of function. What is internal energy? Internal energy means the energy which is there in the system. Okay, and it will be affected by so many things. Second, so the internal energy is denoted by capital U, and it may be like electrical, chemical, mechanical. It's type of internal energy. If we talk about dry cell, it contains chemical energy. If we talk about us, so we also engulf chemical substances, and then we'll convert that chemical energy to mechanical energy. If we talk about electrical energy, so the electricity will just led to the mechanical energy. For example, fan light, fan. If we are just switch on the fan at that time, electrical energy will convert into the mechanical energy. So that may can change actually. Okay, and how these things happen? First, heat pass into or out of the system. Heat. Okay, heat is the important factor, because if heat we are giving heat to the system, internal energy increases. If heat is moving out of the system, internal energy decrease. Second, work. If we are doing work on the system, it will affect the internal energy, and if it work by the system, it means it also affects the internal energy. Next, matter enters or leave. If matter is entering, then also affect internal energy, and if matter is leaving out of the system, that also affects the internal energy. So let's just talk about the work. So we take a system containing some quantity of water in a thermoflask or in an isolated beaker. If we talk about isolated beaker, what happened? There would be no exchange of no exchange of matter and the energy between system and surrounding through its boundaries, and we can call this type of system as adiabatic. So where the system where the exchange of uh, matter and heat is not there, so that system is known as adiabatic system. So the manner in which the state of such a system may be changed will be called adiabatic process. And when we are changing the state in this means in manner of this, so that process is known as adiabatic process. Adiabatic process is the process in which there is no transfer of heat between the system and the surrounding. It means that the wall separating the system and the surrounding is called adiabatic wall. So that the system that do not allow matter and heat substances to pass through it, this is known as the adiabatic wall. Right? So let us bring the change in the internal energy of the system by doing some work on it. How work just affect the internal energy. So let us call the initial state is A and its temperature is TA. So let the internal energy of the system is state A will called UA, and we can change the state of system by two different ways. First way is like we do some mechanical work, says kilojoule. If we are just providing 1 kilojoule of energy by rotating the set of small paddles and thereby churning the water, let the new state be and its temperature TB is found. So it is found that TB is greater than TA, because when we are doing work on any system, so there can change in temperature will be there. So that is why the final temperature is always, not always, if we talk about cooling down of anything. So at that time, final means temperature, initial temperature is high and final is less. But when we are doing an experiment in endothermic, so we are doing work on that so, means system. So at that time, TB will be greater than TA, and the change in temperature will show T delta T is equal to TB minus TA, T final minus T initial. So let the internal energy of the system in state B will be UB, and if you want to find out the change in internal energy, then delta U. Delta means change, U means internal energy. So delta U is equal to UB minus UA. Right. Now, if we talk about the second way, so we now do an equal amount. Equal amount means if we're taking that 1 kilojoule of electrical work with the help of an emerging rod and note down the temperature change, that when we put a emerging rod in any system, what happens? Means we are giving electrical energy to that. That is 1 kilojoule. Now we will see the change in temperature. How? TB minus TA. So the internal energy U, whose value is characteristic of state of the system, whereby the adiabatic work would require to bring about a change of state is equal to the difference between the U. How means if you want to find out the change in state, so that will be like means difference between U. So in one state and that in another state, if you want to find out the change in internal energy, so that will be delta U is equal to U2 minus U1, means internal energy final minus internal energy initial, that will be equal to work added. This AD is equal to the adiabatic process. Okay, so therefore the internal energy U of the system is the state function, means this is the state function that actually just means affect the state. Okay, and the positive sign express that WD is positive when work done on the system. The value of WAD, work done in adiabatic process, will be the positive when work done on the system, and similarly if work done by the system will be there, then the value of this work done adiabatic will be negative. Right. Means if we talk about some similar state of function is second, next is pressure, volume and temperature. So how they are related? If we talk about, like, if we are bring a change in temperature of the system from 25 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius, the change in temperature is 35 minus 25. 35 minus, this is because this temperature is final and 25 degrees initial. So if you want to find out the change in temperature, it means you have to minus final from the initial. What happened? It will be like 10 degree plus 10 degrees Celsius. So whether we go straight up to 35 degrees Celsius, as we cool the system from the few degrees, then take the system to be the final temperature. Thus, T is the state of function. T is also the state of function, and the change in temperature is independent of root taken. Same process. If change of temperature is independent of root taken, it means then we can cool down anything by putting it into NTP, normal temperature and pressure. By we can just change the temperature by putting it into freezer, refrigerator, or some in presence of liquid nitrogen, because it's just cause cooling effect. And so many things are there. So the path is independent, but what we have to consider, we have to consider the final and initial, means change in temperature. Okay, so the volume of water in a pond, for example, is a state function. Volume is also a state function. How? Because change in volume of its water is independent of the route by which the water is filled into the pond, either by rain or by tube well or by both. Means if I dig the pond somewhere, so and put some volume of water in that pond, so I'm not considering the medium, I'm just considering the final result, means some volume of water is there in the pond. It is independent of the route by which the water is filled into the pond. By rain, it can be the rainwater, it can be the tube and water, it can be the bucket to bucket filling water, and so many processes are there. Right. So we just consider the volume of that, the water which is present in that form. So volume is also an state of function. So temperature, internal energy, work done, and this now volume are all state of function, right?